Alright, so welcome back to Dank Scott Traders Hub. Yeah, now we are back for the BTC analysis. As usual, you guys, we do this, we check every Tuesday and Friday. We look into BTC and look at the market of BTC, what is happening, what are points of interest can we look at, can we make entries, can we not, is it getting to the all-time high, and what, so on and so forth. We look into all that every Tuesday and Friday. So right now we now get let's now get into it and we check what's happening in the world of BTC. All right, so excuse me. So last week Tuesday, let me see if I can get Tuesday. Let's see if I can get Tuesday. This is Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. All right, so we were here, I think so. Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So Tuesday we had not reached our all-time high, so we analyzed, and the analysis was actually taking us where. Let's look at the analysis where it was taking us. This was a rising wedge. We knew price was still heading all the way into the buys, and actually we are still looking for the buys. The last week our analysis was pushing us right there. We said we can, depending on the momentum, price may reach that level either this week or the other week or whatever. So but we eventually saw price break out that trend line and actually break the previous high, hence giving us a break of structure right there. So we happen to see a new all-time high, and that is none other than 113k, 111k. That's where price reached last week. So that was actually around Thursday, Wednesday there. That's when price reached our all-time high. So as we speak currently, after reaching the all-time high, price consolidated and then came to retest. It came to retest, and on Friday I told you we could anticipate this fake breakout and then come in with the buys, and actually I entered that buy. That is the trade that I took on Friday. Yes, I think that's Friday. Let's see. Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday. Yes, Friday. After the analysis, I had told you that we will anticipate this fake breakout and then we can enter the buy after that. So after the pullback, I made my entry because that pullback happened on that trend line. This is the trend line right there where we saw the breakout, and then we entered the what? Then we entered the buy trade that pushed us into the new all-time high. So I entered this buy trade also after this fake breakout right here, and it did not last for so long. I saw that price was still having some momentum to actually continue selling, so I took my profits right there. This was a fake breakout because it was already showing me a change of character right there, so that was just a retest trade, and I moved out, and immediately it started to get back into sales. Why? Because that was a change of character. So now head back to H1. If we head back to H1, what are we seeing? We clearly see that this order block is holding up. That is an H4 order block. First remove the history right here. Yeah, clearly here we see the H4 order block is holding up, and we can right now anticipate continuation of buys. We can anticipate continuation of buys having seen this. Remember, this was a break of structure. We saw a break of structure from the previous high. We saw a break of structure, so this is the current higher high, and now we've seen this retest. Now the buys are going to continue, and hopefully this time the buys are going to push us right into that level, which is probably 113k. Yeah, we are likely to see that either this week or next week, depending on the momentum of the market. So what do we do now? Now that we've seen this retest that came to this H4 order block, I can go to that. I will clearly see this order block, but not only that order block, I will clearly see the fair value gap right here, and more so I'm seeing the change of character right here, which is on H1. So that change of character ushered us into the start of a new move, a new uptrend move. That, but we are clearly seeing we are sort of seeing a flag according to H4. That could be a flag right there, and that tells us that this move is going to be anticipated, this sell move from there to right all the way down below. In as much as we are seeing this retest on the order block, we are likely to come even all the way down below, where, let's see, right there, we are likely to see price come all the way back to that level, or to the fair value gap just above this above this order block, this fair value gap right there. So price is likely to come there, or to the order block where the buy momentum started from, right here. So are we going to sell now? No, we are in a buy currently according to H1 and M15. Of course, we are in a buy, but then what are we going to do first? Delete these lines. Let me first delete that, and also this, just put it a bit above there, then delete these ones right here. I want to delete them. This one can also go, or this one can remain, can keep with it because it's showing us that. So head back to H4, delete that, delete that, delete that. Okay, so what do we have? This was a change of character right on H4, and we started to sell. This was a pullback. We failed to get a lower low, so it has gone back to grab liquidity on that fair value gap right there, and now that's what we are seeing. So price should be getting into sales where we are currently. So delete that, head back to H1, and clearly sales should be starting right where we are. The problem is I'm seeing buys on M15 and H1. All I need is price to give me an entry of sales on M15, and I will immediately make my entries for the sell. I will immediately make my entries for the sell. Just give me a minute, excuse me for a minute, and I come back. All right, so let's wrap this up. So as right now where we are, we can look into M15 to give us sales. Probably it's going to come back to this order block. You can see it's in this color right there. So I believe price is going to get right there. Then probably we get into some sales. These sales, of course, they're going to be, you can take a profits. This is BTC. You don't want to swing it or hold it for so long, but those who have enough money and you know you've gotten a good trade, you can hold it, because what we know is we're going to sell, but on H4 we are going to actually see it come all the way to this other level, probably back to 100 and probably back to 105k. So we don't know yet, but from what we have here, from the pattern we have, we're supposed to be seeing some sales bringing us all the way to 105k, almost 6k there. So we will be waiting for that. But as for now, all we need are buys to reach there according to H1 and M15, and probably from there we can get into some bit of sales. So let's wait and see if that can come through for us, so that we can enter some sales together. Otherwise, I think that's it for today's session. We still have about 12 minutes. I wouldn't mind if you guys have a question, one or two. We'll be able to respond to them. But in the meantime, I want to remind you that we have a mentorship class to teach analysis, to teach how to analyze markets, different markets, deal with different markets. I deal with Forex, where we have the gold. I analyze gold, of course, we can see that. Analyze gold, and of course I also analyze the synthetic indices, where we have the likes of jump assets like these, and then we have the likes of volatility assets, the V75, V25, and then we have the booms. And boom 1000, boom 500, and of course we also have crash, the crash assets, crash 500, crash 1000. all those are crash assets that we have. So we do this analysis every day, Monday to Friday, from 10:30 to 11:30 East African time. You can always make it a point to join us here every day, Monday to Friday, and we analyze these assets together. Yeah, we get to analyze these assets together. So the BTC analysis, we normally do it on Tuesday and Friday. You can also be part of it, and always make it a point to join us as we analyze BTC. So if you want to learn how I analyze, how I do my thing, you can first do your research through all the videos and live streams on this channel, and get to know what you want to learn and be part of us. The fees, registration fee $110, and then the other package is for $300. There are of course benefits of those two packages according to their respective charges. So if you want, you can use the number on your screen to register for a class and be part of it. June is coming around. We are in our last week of May. We'll be having a class also, of course, in June. So be part of it and make it a point to use the number on your screen to WhatsApp me or call me, and we look into how you register for the class. All right, enough of that. Of course, those who love synthetic indices, we also have a signals platform, a VIP signals platform. You pay for it $15 per month. You pay for it $15 per month, and that's how you can be part of it. So the signals platform is also available, so you can also choose to subscribe to the platform It's the platform is on WhatsApp. I don't have a Telegram yet. I don't know if I need it. I will look into it, but we are using WhatsApp as a platform, and I share signals every day, Monday to Friday, the synthetic index signals. All right, let's wrap up today's session and we call it a day. So all we've said today is that we know that we have, according to H4, we clearly see that according to H4, we've clearly seen that we have a change of character right here. That's what we saw last week, and then we started to get into sales. So we made a low, we made a high, it came here, it failed to give us a low, but then it went back to test that fair value gap right there. So as we speak, price is reacting to that fair value gap right there, and it has touched it. This is going to be the second time, and we, as it was retesting and consolidating right here, it formed something that looks like a flag. So we know that flags signify continuation of the previous trend. This is a previous trend. Sales, that means we'll be anticipating some sales to bring us all the way down to such a level. So that's what we are going to be anticipating this week. So for now, what do? H1 is looking for buys, and we've said even on M15 we'll be anticipating buys, probably a pullback to get back to that to those highs where we have a weak high right there, and probably we get back there and then we get into sales again, and probably we may see there from this point we can even anticipate breakout of that level to take us all the way into sales, and hopefully it brings us all the way down below to the 100 to levels of 106k, 5k, around there, for us to make this money together. So I think that's it for today. Let me wish you guys a good day, happy trading day, and a happy week. See you guys on Friday. See you on Friday for the BTC, but of course for the synthetics, see you tomorrow 10:30 to 11:30. Have a nice day, guys. Bye bye. you.